Right then, it's nice and sunny out today, but there was ice on the puddles and they've re-gritted the road, so I decided I would go and put the spark plugs in the MV, not the Ducati. As you can see, I've got all the bits off. What I did find though, blooming scratches on the tank. I didn't do those, they were there. And you come down here and there's a bolt missing out of there, and it's leaking fuel slightly. It's nice and clean inside the tank. I like these. Don't know whether you can see. You push those up and put your fuel line in and then just release. That's a much better idea than the Ducati ones. So I'll show you how far we've got. So here we are doing this. There's the pluggies down there. Now it's got the later coil on number 4. Oh, it does move. And it's been a bit of a bodge job to do that. It's not held in with a clamp, it's just pushed in. The others are clamped down with the original coils. Number 4, a little bit oily inside compared to the others, so we shall see how that goes. There's the rear brake reservoir. I should take that off and clean the back of the engine before I put it all back together. So there we go. The ECU is the old silver one, but it has had an EEPROM in it. So, as you can see, there's sort of chafing on there and various places. All the connections look good, bit oily. I think somebody sprayed ACF all over it. It's all hacky and tacky. Anyway, I shall now take the plugs out and see what the mixture's like, and if number 4 is still fouling up. Anyway, I'll keep you updated on that, and obviously you can see why it only does 30 odd to the gallon. Those 4 great bell mouths stuck on there. So there we go. Right, I've managed to get that out. As you can see, that's the plug, the coil that's in it, which is the later one, isn't it? From the 900, I believe. And the actual plug, the gap's about right, maybe a little wide, but iridium. Now, I've read somewhere that these early ones don't like iridium plugs. So luckily I've got an new set of old stock Champion. So we'll put those in and see what happens. Anyway, I shall now see if I can get those clamps off of those without dropping the clamps and the nuts. What I do like about these is, though, much better idea. You see, you pull that yellow bit out, which I can't do at the moment. Pull that back, pull that yellow bit back, and then you push the black bit down. It's a much more secure way of doing things. As you can see, that was a little bit oily there still, but there we go. I will check the air filter before I put it back in. Doesn't look too bad through that hole, but I'll have to take it out. So we'll whip the others out and see what they're like. But the mixture wise, I think I've got that dialed in pretty good. It's nice and grey, a little bit of oil around there, which I think it's probably burning a little bit, but mixture wise it looks fine. So here we go, carry on. Right, this is the what we've got, racing spec spark plugs. The correct ones to go in. So there we go, just the ordinary pluggies. We'll see if this makes a difference. It might do, you know, because I have read somewhere that they don't like the iridium plugs on these early bikes. So we'll pop these in a minute. Alright, got the coil packs out. I've cleaned this one up with some Scotch-Brite, but that one looks quite new. Number one is all rusty down there. Might be short sparking across. And number 3 as well. So I'll clean all that up and see what happens. Yeah. Anyway, we'll clean those up just in case it's arcing across instead of firing the plug. And take the rest of the plugs out. As you can see, I've cleaned all the rust out of there. So that's it. There's quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. You can probably see this a bit better now. That yellow bit you pull out before you can push the black bit in, and then push that yellow bit back in to lock it, which is a much better idea than bloomin' Ducati and other the types where they just use that silly clip which somebody has put on. Look. Now there's something. See how far that pin is back down up in that plug. I shall have to push that back up through. That's on number 4, so that might be a problem. We're getting there, slowly but surely. looking at the things, the scratches on the tank. One spark plug loose, or not done up as tight as the others. The others were done up too tight. Number 2 was slack, ish, just nipped up. Black oil, I don't think they'd done a service on it, you know. They said they did, but I won't say who it was. But I have my doubts whether they did, and if they did, they didn't do it properly. So I expect they thought, oh, it's only done 200 miles since it's had the head off, and the valve stem oil source done on number 4. That'd be alright, the oil will do. I think that's what had happened there. They adjusted the rear chain much too tight. It was like a bowstring when I got back. Of course, with these single-sided swing arms, you've got to have a flippy floppy chain. So the antifreeze in there was down to said -2, and it was clear, so that's why I changed that. The oil was black, so I changed that. So now I'm going to take the rear brake reservoir off and clean the back of the engine after I put the plugs, coils from that back on. So there we go. I'll keep you updated as I go. I got the coat on because it's bloody cold. As you can see, it needs a bit of a clean after I went out a couple of days ago. The chain's gone rusty with the salt on the roads. But yeah, other than that, I'm quite pleased. We'll see how it runs with these other plugs in. Right, I've just removed the rear brake reservoir. I'll check to see if there's any fluid in it in a minute, and clean down there all that crud, because it looks as though somebody's just thrown brake fluid at the reservoir, hoping that it would go in. Either that or the lid wasn't on tight and it's all washed down. Anyway, I'm going to clean that off. There's an engine number there somewhere. I think the frame number is 2063, 2896. So that's an early one. Yeah, so I'm going to clean that off now before I put it all back together. Plugs are back in, clamps are tight. I've done that, push that wire back in. So I reckon that could be a lot of the running problem. So we shall see. But the all the plugs are about the same. Oh, there's none really blacker than the others, except that one maybe. But that's number 4 I mean, the real cruddy one. It looks great. Two cylinders are running better than the other two. We'll see what it's like with the Champion race plugs in, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's another section done. Right, I've just taken the top off the rear brake thingy. That's a bit knackered, but it isn't as knackered as the fluid in the reservoir. Look at that. I should say, it being that low and the colour of it, I would say that was the original 2004 brake fluid. So it definitely didn't have a service before I got it, did it? Eh? Motorcycle dealers, eh? I know he was selling it on behalf of a friend, but it was supposed to have had a service. He may not have done it because I knocked him down on the price. So there you go. And below that you can now see, well, you can't, but there's a engine number on there now. You can see with a mirror. So I shall siphon that out and refill it and bleed it through. How easy is that going to be to do? You've got to find a frigging thing first. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I'd better get a monster socket and take the wheel off then, and check on the brake pads, because you just can't see. That's a bit of a sod. As you see, don't go out in the salty weather. Fuck. Right then, good job I checked that. Not that I use the back brake much, but you do on cornering sometimes when you need a little bit of a back end out. But there we go. Right, so I would definitely say that this has never had a service since the engine was done back in 2016. Hey, right then, I will leave it. It's getting cold now. I'm going to put it back inside and have a look at the air filter in the warm, and that. Things you find. Oh, and put the screw in. I mustn't forget to put the screw in the bottom of the fuel tank as well, and tighten all those up. Yeah, that's it. And hopefully that wire on that number 4 plug socket, that one there, hopefully that might cure that popping and banging and misfire. But we will see. Right then, be another video tomorrow probably.